Welcome back to College Conversations. I'm Dr. Fedor, and I help you navigate college. Today, I have with me Patrick Carpenter. Hi, Patrick.
How you doing, Janice?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great and happy to be here with you today.
Great. Thanks for joining me. In the meantime, please remember to hit like and subscribe so I can continue to bring you these helpful videos and continue to justify buying all these wonderful fake plants for my home office. So, Patrick, you're an adjunct instructor at college. Tell me, how did you get started with that?
A bit of an interesting journey. I mean, my teaching career is inextricably attached to my experience as a human on this planet. In that education, the ability for me to go to college really changed my life completely. I knew, probably after my first year of college courses that I needed to be involved in teaching in some way, shape, or form. So as an undergraduate student, I had a good sense that I'd like to get into the classroom and that would require a master's degree. So I started my career in student affairs, working on a college campus, and worked toward the completion of my master's degree. And once I did, I was well positioned to become an adjunct faculty member. I taught my first course, which was a first-year seminar course, which gave me sort of a flavor for what the classroom would be like. And Janice, I fell in love with it.
That's such a great story. So how many years has this been?
So it's been about 13 years now. I really can't believe it's been that long, but it's been 13 years since I started teaching.
So what do you like the most about teaching college students?
What I like most about teaching college students, I can tell you that I might be a rare member of the adjunct faculty, but I don't have a lot of complaints about students, period. Just about everything that they bring to the table is something that I appreciate and something that I enjoy. But what I think I enjoy most is knowing that there's this information that I have and that I need to get that information to these students. And in an evolving society, the ways in which we do that also has to evolve and change. So I find that I'm challenged by students to find ways to connect them to the material, ways that will be meaningful and that they'll take with them when they move on. So being forced to re-examine how I deliver curriculum pretty much constantly is pretty awesome.
Speaking of challenges, how has COVID influenced your teaching in the last few years?
Yeah, it's a great question. Not something I ever anticipated, and had a huge impact on the way that I teach. Going into the pandemic, I would have considered myself very much in the classroom teacher, and was faced with the inability to be in a classroom for an extended period of time. So what it really forced me to do was spend a lot of time on how you deliver curriculum in a remote fashion, and also in asynchronous ways, which is something that I myself never experienced. It was definitely a challenge. It has definitely changed the way the curriculum is delivered and received by students. And I've got to imagine there's going to be some component of this sort of remote delivery as we move forward. I think that in some ways it will always exist. So
you mentioned that you've been an adjunct instructor at colleges for about 13 years. Yep. How has teaching changed from when you first started to now? Like, what's the biggest thing that you've noticed, the biggest change?
Biggest change. There's a couple, but the biggest one is the technology that is available to faculty members.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes it, the way I describe it to people, and why I really am now embracing the technology and have been for the last many years, I see that it has the ability to have the conversation continue throughout the semester, throughout the week, throughout the month.
Right.
And for students who are really in college to engage and do well, it meets a need that they have. So the course sort of evolves into an ongoing conversation rather than you stop in, you spend 3 hours of your time, and then you go and plan your homework for the week. So the technology, the ability to use things like Moodle to set up classroom delivery in a way that lands on students well is a gift. The other thing I've noticed, which is interesting. Students communicate differently now, in significant ways. They communicate differently. Most communications I receive from students don't have a dear or a hello. It's just sort of like right into the conversation.
Yeah.
There's brevity in how they communicate as well. It gets me thinking, in my emails that can be very lengthy to students, is that something I need to address, but yeah, so the biggest changes I would say are in the ways that students communicate and the changes in technology that have just been massively positive changes, in my opinion.
Well, thanks again, Patrick, for joining me on College Conversations. Please remember to hit like, subscribe, and remember to keep learning.